I picked out the grays that I'm going to use. I've got 70%, I've got the white, obviously, and then I have the 90% gray. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do pretty much the same thing as what I did on my other picture. So let me just pull that out. My book here. You see what I did was for the hat, I used the grays with white, and then I used a white gel pen to go over it, which I really like the way that looks. I think it looks great. The other ones I did with, you know, obviously it's a rabbit, so I did his ears with his color. But my plan is to make it look similar to this. So I have to pay attention to where I want the highlights so that I don't color in too much dark. I mean, I just think it looks great on that one. So that's my plan, is to make it look like that. And it's just a way smaller version of it, so it's going to be, because it's smaller, it's going to be a little bit more challenging, I think. But we'll see. So let's do the red for the hat first. Let's get those colors out. The hat. So I have to take a sip of my coffee. It is noon, but I drink coffee all day long. I have this this little warmer. I'll show you. This little warmer that my husband got me for Christmas, and I love it because it keeps my coffee nice and warm. It's got a timer on it, so it you know, if it's been a while, it'll turn off. I have it set at 166 degrees. Now, whether it's really 166 degrees, I don't know. I haven't checked it. But it does keep my coffee nice and warm, and I do enjoy that very much. So, and this color. Okay. All right, so for the hat, the highlighted areas you can see on here, like this area, it's going to be highlighted. So it's going to be lighter. And up here. So. And as you can see, I am not pressing hard. Just light. Just enough to give it some, I'm going to put some color pencil there. But my plan is not to fill it in yet. I might have to get another pencil out that's just a little bit darker than this Crimson Lake. We'll see. when you're coloring in like this, see how low I have this pencil? I'm really using at an angle, so I actually am using more of the pencil to touch the surface, because like I said, I'm not trying to get it all into the nooks and crannies yet. Right now I'm just wanting it on the paper. That's what I want. And then we'll do that part. As we go. Okay, so I like that. Get this dark. So some of this area is going to be very dark, which I might need a darker pencil. So I was watching this. Now I watch, you know, oil painters and acrylic painters and watercolor painters lately. But I was watching this this artist on YouTube, and it reminded me back when I used to watch Bob Ross. Now, I think everybody knows who Bob Ross is. And if you don't know who Bob Ross is, then you should watch a couple of his videos, because I think he was a great instructor. He was really teaching the common sense aspect of oil painting, wet on wet, but he was teaching you everybody's an artist, and he was teaching that you can have fun. It's not so stressful, and he's right. He was right. It shouldn't be stressful, and if you're doing it, if you follow his instruction, you can paint. You can paint for fun. You can say, yeah, you know what? I can. I can. I can do it. Right? Let's get some other red in here. Okay, so that's that part. Let's just get some permanent red. Anyways, where I was going with that, just dawned on me, because I'm so involved. Anyways, I was watching a lot of artists painting, and so I thought, you know what, they all use something to keep their hand from going onto the work, putting their actual skin oils onto the work. And I thought, well, you know what? Get a ruler, and you can use a ruler and use that. It's sitting up here on the top, and it's on the base there. You can use a ruler or a wooden dowel. Just, you can use anything like that. I mean, that's not something that only painters can use. We can use it too. And I think that, I think it's a great idea, because it keeps you from touching the paper, right? And instead of using this, which is fine too, that's fine too, but I don't know, this, I don't know, I like being able to see the paper where I'm at, I can see the whole design. So give it a try. Maybe it works for you. And if you're already doing that, what are you using? Are you using a ruler? Are you using something else? Curious minds, aren't we? We all are curious. So it kind of gets that ugly stage, right? Where you get like, thinking, oh my gosh, this just looks like, it's terrible. Doesn't look like what I want it to look like. And then after a little bit, kind of all starts coming together. So it just all starts coming together. No, I'm not pressing hard. Keep that in mind. Not pressing hard. All I'm doing is just allowing the pencil, the wax to come off. So I'm not burnishing at all. To sharpen that pencil because it's a little bit duller than I want it to be. So what you do is you get it down there, and then you blend, 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 blend. Going to blend this a little bit here so it's not quite such a line. There we go. Okay, that's the hat. Like that color. I like the way that looks. So now we're going to do the fur on the hat. So in this section, I am working with the dark purple, and I am using that so that I can get some depth, making it look a little bit more rounded. So I'm blending that in around the feet. I'll be using it also on the ear and on the hat. I just didn't feel like it was dark enough to kind of show off the roundness of the little pads on his feet. So I wanted to add that dark purple in there. And you'll be able to see the difference in the effect in both the feet. You know, I'm working on his right foot, and the his little left foot that I haven't worked on yet. You can see that it is still quite kind of flattish. I mean, it does look like a three-dimensional just a little bit, but not as much as his left foot is. So if you, when I get to the section coming up, you can just take it and you can just pause it for a moment and just take a look and see the difference. So, and as I'm going through it, you can kind of tell. So I'm just blending it. You can see the difference. And it's not a huge difference, but you know, it makes me feel better. Because aren't we all coloring to make ourselves, you know, feel better? I do. I'll get on my ruler. And I'm going to work on that lower section of his left foot. The right one for you guys. And the reason why I'm doing the voiceover here is because my husband plays the bass and he was practicing and it was in the background. So because he's practicing, you know, familiar songs, we just decided, you know what, it's probably more sensible to just do a voiceover so that I don't have to worry about any copyright issues with the audio going on. So that's why I'm using voiceover today. And it is a bit of a challenge to learn how to talk through a microphone. So if the quality is not that great, then I do deeply apologize. And I know there's a lot of individuals out there that don't talk at all through their tutorials. But I am really trying to keep it from having too much dead time. And you can see that it definitely looks darker. It definitely looks more rounded. What do you think? Do you think it looks better? Don't forget to like and subscribe. And by all means, leave a comment below. I appreciate the helpful comments, suggestions. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep on doing a voiceover, but let me know what you think about voiceover. I watch other artists that do use it, and I watch some that do and some that don't. So do you find voiceover beneficial? Is that a preference? Let me know. And let's work on his ear. You can see that it's not quite dark enough. Just want to push his ear back a little bit more. Kind of round it off a little. In this section, you can see that I'm working on it for a little while, and like we all know, if you color with colored pencils, this is not a fast process. I'm doing this in real time so that you can, at your own leisure, fast forward it if you want to, or jump ahead if you want to. That way you have more control over the video. I think it's nice to do that. Sometimes when people edit their own videos, I always find that there's always a section in there that I wish I had seen. So what I'm trying to do is give you the option to jump around in the video and see the sections that you want to see, that you feel you need more guidance on, or you need to watch more tutorials on. Giving you the control to fast forward and skip around is something that I like having when I watch videos. So hopefully this is beneficial for you. I used to watch this painting artist. Well, I think everybody knows about Bob Ross. At least most people in the US know about Bob Ross. And he was always talking about painting and using darks and using, to show light. Another artist that did that was an artist by the name of William Alexander. He also used to talk about, he used to talk about his mighty brush and how you always have to have darks to show the lights. So don't be afraid of those. I'm getting the sharpening pencil. So you just put a little bit here in this section of the hat. And you can tell, you can see the difference. So when you're looking at this, you try to think of how much light is going to be in some of these sections. And you know that right close to the fur there, that is not going to have a whole lot of light. I mean, not a whole lot of dark. And what you need is you need to put dark there so that you can actually show the light for the brim of the hat. It also shows the shape of the hat. And then, of course, in this little section where the fold is, make sure you get that. Nice crease. And then when you're doing a project, what I always do is I take time and I take a picture of my progress. And when you take a picture of your progress, you can actually see what it is that you need to work on. Whether you think it needs a little bit more dark, or whether you think it needs a little bit more light. So at this stage, I'm going to start working on the hat fur. I have my white, and that I'm going to use it sporadically through here. I'm not covering the whole hat with white. I'm just covering certain areas that I do want to stay a little bit lighter. And then I have to do the pom-pom. Put some white down in there. And then in this first color I'm going to use is the 70% cool gray. And what you want to do is you want to sporadically lay it down. And you want to do it to show the direction of the fur, which means that you need to try to go from the center out on the edges. You can see I'm just flicking it out. Trying to keep it kind of not too dense, kind of light, so to speak. but just that you can see the direction that I have the fur going, right? If you just pause it and then just look at it, you can see how the fur already has a basic layout. So now I'm going to use the 90% cool gray. I want it to be sharp, so I'm taking a second sharpening it. Alright, so with the 90% cool gray, I'm going to go in here and flick it. Not as much as I did with the 70%, but just to get some light. I have to put the dark in there to get the light in there. So when you're working on something that's white, like this, the colors I'm using, the 90% cool gray, the 70% cool gray, I'm going to be using some of the 10% cool gray, which I'll be getting out. Sharpening it. And then I'll be using the white. But in all of those, the white paper is not going to get any whiter. It's white paper, that's it. So you have to use the dark colors to get the white. So when you're doing something like this, you're basically putting in the shadows. So you're putting in all of the shadows, and then at the end, I'll go over it with the white gel pen, just flicking it out from, and when I say at the end, I mean at the end of the project. I'm not going to do that now because I don't have the packages finished in the background, or the scarf. So the white gel pen will come out at the very end. I'll be putting the highlights in, and then I'll put the maybe some glitter or something in on the packages, but the white will be done last. I believe. I could change my mind, but you know, because it is all fluid. So I'm going to erase something here, and I found this. Somebody did this. I don't remember who. I think it was Color My World. I think it was Lori Green. I believe she did it. She took her electric eraser, and what she did was she took it and she put it on the sanding block and sanded it and made it into a point. And then at that point, you can take and use it in fine areas and get, you know, very fine details. You can erase stuff with, you know, with the tip being very tiny, or you can just get right in between in some of these areas and take out some of the darker colors that I had put in. So I thought that was a wonderful technique, which I'm happy to share. Little spot here on the page. So at this point, I might go back in with some black, maybe later, if I think it needs a little bit more shadow. But right now, with that 10% cool gray in there, I'm thinking that looks really quite good for his hat and his pom-pom. And I do at the end of this have a little clip, a picture of the scarf finished. So you can check that out. Remember to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. Okay, and that's part 3 coming soon. So that's it.